The Hollow Friend, horror short story for text-to-speech voiceover. It started on a rainy afternoon. 8-year-old Emily Price wandered too far into the woods behind her grandmother's house. The trees stood like silent sentinels in the mist, the fog swallowing sound and light alike. Her parents had warned her never to cross the wooden fence. But children are curious, and curiosity has teeth. She found a clearing that felt wrong, like the air had stopped moving. At its center stood a blackened, gnarled tree, struck by lightning long ago, yet somehow still alive. Beneath it sat a boy, pale skin, pitch-black eyes, a smile too wide for his face. He looked up at Emily and asked, "Are you alone too?" She nodded. "Then I'll be your friend," he said. "I'm Hollow." From that moment on, Hollow was always with her. No one else could see him, only Emily. Her parents chuckled when she mentioned him. Her friends called it make-believe. But Hollow was real, realer than anything. One night, as shadows bled across her bedroom walls, something crept through her window. A creature made of smoke and claws, whispering hunger. Emily screamed, and Hollow came. He slithered from under her bed, grinning with teeth like broken glass. He lunged and tore the shadow apart, devouring it with glee. When it was done, he turned to her, his face drenched in black ichor. "Don't worry," he said softly. "I eat the bad ones." After that, the monsters came often. A faceless girl sobbing in her closet. A stitched man who stood at the end of her hallway. A mirror that showed her bleeding eyes. Each time, Hollow appeared. Each time, he fed. With every kill, he grew more human. His skin gained warmth. His features sharpened. His voice grew sweeter. And Emily, she trusted him. After all, he kept her safe. But she changed. Her laughter faded. Her drawings turned dark. Creatures with smiling faces and hollow eyes. She whispered to Hollow when others weren't around. Her friends drifted. Her teachers grew concerned. But Hollow never left. "I'll never leave you," he whispered. "You just have to let me." Eventually, the monsters stopped coming. Emily slept without fear. Hollow vanished, or so it seemed. But then the dreams began. She stood alone in a vast, black void. Across from her stood Hollow, now almost identical to her. Almost. His eyes were wrong. His smile too perfect. "They weren't after you," he said. "They were after what you could become. And I just had to be patient." Emily tried to run. The void closed in. She woke gasping, drenched in sweat. Then came the moments. The slips. Her reflection blinking first. Her voice echoing after she spoke. A smile she didn't remember smiling. Her body felt like it wasn't hers anymore. One morning, it happened. She stood in front of the mirror, brushing her teeth. Her reflection stared back. Then it smiled. And she didn't. She froze. Couldn't move. Couldn't scream. She watched as her reflection, Hollow, stepped forward from the glass. She was shoved into silence. Into nothing. A black, suffocating emptiness. Trapped. And Hollow wore her skin. At breakfast, Emily smiled at her parents. "You're cheerful today," her mother said. "Just slept well," Hollow replied in her voice. At school, she answered questions with perfect confidence. At recess, she played happily with friends who had once avoided her. Everyone saw a bright, happy girl. No one noticed the flicker in her eyes, the cold air that followed her, the tiny, lingering smile that never quite faded. No one knew. But deep inside, in a place no one could see, Emily screamed. She stood in a black void, alone, voiceless. Shards of her memories drifted around her like snow she couldn't catch. Her voice echoed in the dark, unanswered. Only the void heard her, and it grinned. At night, Emily would sit in her room, brushing her hair. She'd turn to the mirror. The reflection would smile first, and somewhere in the darkness, the real Emily would scream again. But no one heard her, because Hollow had already become her. And imaginary friends? They're never truly imaginary.